So what happens is that, as you know, we profile players looking for role models that will retrace their roots to the high school, collegiate, and professional community and set up charitable programs and foundations. So what happens is that parents will form a screening committee around an athlete when it comes to agentry. And so you're really not talking to the player initially. The discussion would be like with Randy Mahomes, the mom, and Patrick Sr., the father. And they have a whole set of prepared questions, and they have a first cut, almost like you were a player, and then eventually narrow it down. And then when we met Patrick after the season, my younger attorney, Chris Cabot, and myself, we saw that he shared those values, that he had a warm and giving heart, that he wanted to be a role model, that he was willing to do whatever it took in scouting, and instantly there was a bond.
Lee Steinberg with us, noted sports attorney. I want to focus on the Cardinals for a couple of minutes. Jeudy, I've been sitting over here pounding my fist saying that's a guy that would look really good alongside of Kyler Murray. You are representing him along with Tua, the two Alabama kids. What's Jeudy all about, and could you see a fit here in Arizona, Lee?
Well, absolutely. He is the most dynamic wide receiver and big play threat in the draft. He's got the ability to run routes like very few college players ever master. And then once he catches the ball, he's just explosive. Very good young man, brought up with a loving family, and again, one of those role models who's going to make an impact off the field as well as on.
Can you give the fans an idea of what it looks like when you have a client that you know would be a fit for a team that would have a need at wide receiver, even with Larry Fitzgerald over here and Christian Kirk? How do you go about that leading into the draft?
Well, first of all, the teams have to start to move forward and tell you they have sincere interest. So draft night might be a surprise to fans, but it's not if you're representing a player, because all of the teams interested in him will come to the fore, and they may do special workouts with him during scouting, but you become aware of that over the progression of time. The Combine is the next scouting event. That comes up in late February, some of it's in early March, and then you start to get teams not simply scouting everybody, but focusing on a specific pick they might want to take.
Last question, that is about the Arizona Cardinals. When you have negotiations through the years with this organization, how has it been for you? Is it a good working relationship with the Cardinals?
It really is. Michael Bidwell is younger, and the whole staff there. Of course, I used to negotiate all the time with Rod Graves, and that was a pleasure. But they've come from the old days in St. Louis, where they were a particularly difficult team to deal with, to becoming much more mainstream.
I appreciate your time and insight. Good to see you, Lee. I hope to catch up with you down the road. Thanks.
My pleasure, Brad.